while we're talking and doing it, I was just like, this is so interesting because me and the friend, I didn't even know what I was saying, and normally I watch myself in it.
Yeah.
And me and her were like, so stuff like that is really, or even I don't know what I was talking about IVD when we started talking about IVD last one, and you and Sahara were like, and that's just stuff you don't.
Yeah,
you
true.
never know what
It's
what,
true.
and if I
It's
did,
true.
and I was there talking, I didn't get
Within
it.
the silences.
Yeah, no, but it's good though.
Yeah.
And you're a dick. Sorry. No, I know. Are you waiting? What is it? Sorry.
No.
I thought Craig was waiting to clap the situation. Listen, you guys, I can't tell you. Every time Craig goes to do the clap, I don't know if it kicks in that we're about to start recording / filming. But anyway, welcome to the Coaster Podcast, a podcast where I'm making sure that I'm not coasting through life, so I'm getting guests on, and we're having conversation about everything's going on. We're keeping updated in life, because coasting is just now run, innit? You don't make enough money off of one job. I'm going to start with that quote because one of our guests and the co-host said it earlier. And I am your host, Russeni. And Darian, can you put in, because I'm going to get it right. You don't shave me because the wah-wah from the last episode.
Yes.
No, because he's shit. Yeah, that's what he is.
Make sure we put that back in.
No, we're not putting it because you think I'm going to fail.
Okay, go on.
No. Do you think I'm going to fail?
What?
No. Do you think I'm going to fail?
Yeah.
With your chest, yeah? With your chest. Okay, cool. Make some noise for my co-host, Oren Hanzo.
You're lucky. 1 out of 2.
That's true, actually. That's shameful.
You've got another one to get right.
I'm going to get this one because our guest today is someone from we first met. Is it 5 years ago now, roughly?
Around about that, yeah.
Around 5 years ago, people said, oh my God, you guys are so alike. You guys are so similar. I mean, we would be because our birthdays are a day or two apart?
3.
3. Okay, so I can't do maths. You know, we were talking earlier, I can't do maths.
You can't count.
But this is no shame. I failed my maths GCSEs. I got it now, but I did fail the original. Make some noise for our special guest, my female twin, Sian the Gentle-Green Giant.
Hello.
What? You owe me Chris for something.
I mean...
That's shame. You ain't got no business. No, Darian, look me in the eyes. I need some sort of celebration. Two names.
No.
What do you mean no?
It's a record.
Listen,
It's a record.
For the last 3 episodes, you are just about catching up. This is 3-1.
Yeah, do you know which one is really shameful? The Jackie Chan? That one hurt my heart that I missed the man's, where he's from up. So yeah, no, welcome to another episode. I'm actually excited. Thank you for wearing yellow. If you know me, I love Minions. Okay, Jesus Christ. Let me be a child. You know I'm coming up to 30. I can't process this. So yeah, in the house, we also have Fuck. I feel like you jinxed me though. Mr. Hanzo. We've got mascots today. Obviously, sitting with Mr. Hanzo is the original mascot, the PG Tips Bear. Sorry. I mean, he looks like he's gone through life, but
what PG Tips is... Huh?
That is the PG Tips Bear.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's...
Are you sure?
Positive. Really? Obviously, it's a winter one. It is the PG Tips Bear, yeah.
Isn't PG Tips the monkey?
But
Isn't that a monkey?
That's the monkey.
This is a monkey.
The coolest monkey in the jungle.
Oh my God.
And then also today, I don't even think you see in frame, I've got a little card to shout out to one of the young boys that I worked with one-to-one this week, and a film that I made for year 6s where their safety net is cars. Shout out to that. And I asked our guests for you to bring something. Yeah. So introduce yourself and your pro.
Hello everyone, my name is Sian Gentle-Green. Thank you guys for having me on this podcast, and congratulations as well for your podcast. Like, how amazing!
Oh, thank you.
I bought this little thing. I don't know if you guys. I mean, I'm gonna try and describe it. It's like a yellow little plushie thing, and it's also like a phone holder, but you know, because you know we're in a parallelogram, I put a
I know that's right.
a hand sanitizer thing in it, so everybody watching at home, so go check it out on YouTube. That's what it is.
Wash your hands,
All
wear
day.
your mask, and be respectful because we're all
Thank you
going
very
through
much.
something.
Social distance.
So, on to our first segment. Do you know what it is? I can actually do it a little bit softer today because Sian, she watches. Do you know what I mean? She knows what I'm going. She knows what's coming up. Or at least the segments. You know what I'm saying? The first segment is Wagwan for us, Wagwan for them. So who wants to go first? Who wants to do a little
I
piece?
guess you go first.
Oh, go on.
Oh goodness.
You ain't that nice to me, but go on.
I mean,
Oh man, yeah, I was saying before that, yeah, this week has been a lot. I mean, obviously we've had like so many things happening this week, which I'm sure that we're gonna get deep into. But you know, I'm just alive, I'm breathing, and that's what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for tomorrow. I'm grateful for being. Thank you.
Amen. When Jesus says yes.
Nobody can say no.
Some people can, but anyway, that's for later on. Do you want to go second?
I mean, I had a good week other than yesterday when I had Chinese and that just fucked up the system. Yeah.
What did you have?
So,
Oh,
you see, this is why I don't order from Just Eat.
Oh.
You see? So I got Singapore vermicelli noodles.
Wait, what? Translate for me. What was?
So it's the Singapore noodles and they put, I think, curry powder in it, right? Something is in it. And it's got assorted meat and all kinds of things in it. Anyways, it was my friend's birthday. We went over, well, we didn't go over, but we did a virtual, you know, the virtual thing, the Zoom thing.
We love a good save.
Stay in your houses. We did a Zoom thing and I ordered some nastiness from Just Eat. And yeah, it was salty. And I'm sure the meat was old.
we love high blood pressure.
Hello. And yeah, that messed me up.
Oh no.
Well, this morning anyway.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm fragile.
That's the perfect word.
I want to inquire more, but I'm not sure everyone wants to hear you talk about your bowel movements.
Oh, I mean, well, it's moving, but it's also aching, you know.
Jesus. See, that's why I can't. I remember on the last episode we talked about, that's why I can't be having takeaway from just anyway. You just can't do it from Just Eat. You just can't do that. Because once the belly rocks, yeah.
Oh, it rocks.
Rock
The boat rock the boat.
See what he said.
We say it. We want you. We want ya. We want ya. So my little piece of update is, do you know what it is? And you'd message me. Mr. Hanzo messaged me and he was like, how you been? And I was just like, meh. Like, I don't know, this week, maybe it's this year, but everything that's going on, I'm just getting to a stage of like, I feel like I'm doing a lot of waiting, a lot of deciding, but even the decisions, them not go nowhere. Because you make a decision, we don't know what's going to happen. If the 21st of June does happen, when you see me in the streets, mind your business and support black businesses, yeah? Because when I'm acting up, I've had a 1.5 year break, yeah? So you leave me alone. So I just feel like we're even planning towards that day. We don't know if that's going to happen. We don't know. Yes, the kids have just gone back on the 8th of March, but we don't know if it's all going to come to fruition, what's going to change.
True.
So, I like our industry. Everyone's looking around.
Yeah.
Today we've had to change spaces. Let me just disclaimer. Because of everything COVID and the other episodes normally filmed in a different room, we're in a different space today. And you can probably hear outside just because of the way it's built. We're just going to have... You guys are okay? We can continue? Okay, cool. Craig, yes. You know what? While we're doing updates, the fact that you're sitting here in a black jacket...
What? It's blue, hello, with the green.
Oh, he
Because
got
last time before we filmed,
Yeah.
Craig shaded with me and he was just like, I'm banning
you need more
black.
colours. Yeah.
And so today I
Wear
wore
the
something
colours.
that I thought I had the colour. This ain't my general thing. I tried. Here comes Mr. Hanzo walking through with black leather to look expensive.
Since our sister Meghan has been going through some things, we have to come in full force. Hello.
And that's the segue.
Literally, I was just about to say that's the
That is
segue.
the perfect. You've been. Sean listens. She knows I like a little bit of segue. Yeah, that is a segue. That was what going for us. Have you guys got anything else to say? No?
No,
Okay, moving
let's
on.
get into
it.
What go on for them? We're going to save the Meghan, though. We're going to save our sister for a little bit later. We're going to start with some foolishness. I want to first touch on Netflix are cutting down sharing pass.
Yes.
Oh, they don't know.
I
We
saw
know how
that.
to move here. Get yourselves NordVPN. Is it VPN?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hello.
not sponsored.
Go there
Sponsored.
and then hack yourself into your friend's account. We should be sponsoring these people.
Yeah, exactly. Netflix.
Who is
drop
going to
it
go and pay $7.99 for another Netflix account?
Oh,
Not me.
no, Lord.
I just think that they've been. I don't understand. They understand we're going through something. Why would this be your time to stop us from enjoying and sharing as a
Let me
community
tell you why.
virtually?
Because if you look at it, if they've got 2 million views, 2 million users, and they have 4 million viewers at a time, that's essentially 2 million potential customers that they've lost out. So the idea is close the gap and then get those people to subscribe. But, who's going to do that?
Not me.
It's long.
No,
I mean, I'm just waiting for Apple Music to allow people to create new profiles so then I can start paying for it.
because everyone knows the trick is in your family. If there's 6 of you in your family, one pays for Disney Plus, one pays for Netflix, one pays for Amazon Prime, one pays for free delivery
that how
somewhere,
it
or
works
whatever
in
the
your
case is,
family?
and you share the thing out.
Yes.
And once in a while, I might get into a little situationship, relationship. It's been a while. Get into a little piece of relationship, and I might have to share it with them. I might have to share it with my best friend John, Dick, and Harry. Do you know what I mean?
I know them.
Sean has met them at the pub. So do you know what I mean? Let us live our best life. Let me share out the thing, share the wealth, because we're all swapping out here.
Well, you better
we're
jump
going
on
for it.
NordVPN,
Exactly. Get those
sign up,
Not sponsored.
encrypted to encrypted thing.
encrypt all of it.
Exactly.
Get yourself Hulu account too.
The next, have any of you guys seen Chloe's new face?
Who?
Khloe Kardashian. Jesus Christ.
Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh, catfishing out here. I
Yeah.
can't. Do you know what? I don't.
I don't know what she looked like. Do I need to Google this?
Yeah.
I don't keep up with the Kardashians. See what I did
Oh,
there?
that was good.
Do you see what I did there?
A-star. A-star.
A plus
Something.
distinction. Yeah, first distinction star. All that.
Wait, and then close
Thank
that
you.
window.
I don't keep up with them, but I saw a clip on either TikTok or Instagram, and I'm like, what? Like, I mean, do you know what? Do you like literally live your best life, but just you
So,
just keep cheating?
let me just give some clarification. Yeah. So with the Netflix thing, they want us. Basically, you can only share your password with anyone in your household, and they're gonna find a way to check that. I wait to see that. Now we're talking about the Khloe thing. Khloe, obviously, we know how to use Google and see how the Kardashians used to look, because she was. Call it the thicker sister or the one with more meat on her bones. Because she wasn't actually that fat, you know. They
No,
ripped
she
into her as if she
wasn't.
was walking around
She
obese
wasn't.
or carrying big weight.
Wait.
Nah, she was just obviously the bigger, more Amazon statuesque one.
Wait. Hold on.
Mr. Hanzo he's Googling and trying to find out.
I think the reason that people say that is just because like everybody else was just comparing.
Comparing them,
Yeah,
innit? And
and
obviously
I just
she's
don't
the
think that's
taller
fair
one.
at all.
And then you have Courtney that is 5'2" or whatever the case is. So recently, Khloe got well, we don't know. Allegedly, by the looks of it, the face that we met her with ain't the face that we're seeing
Absolutely
in 2021.
not, absolutely not.
From either lip filler to even the body is not
Oh,
the same.
wow.
Even Mr. Hanzo is he's looking and he's seeing the changes. So obviously all of them look different, but recently, as of late, Chloe's face just looks done. Auto-corrected. Manufactured. And I personally, I'm waiting to see when the other Instagram girls are gonna jump on
Oh
this.
shit!
Oh,
I can't.
This. You know. Wait.
I think he's shocked.
yeah.
No, you know those characters that they do on the App Store when they do those cartoon characters.
Yeah, like Bitmojis and
Yeah,
emojis.
dude, she looks like a Bitmoji.
I mean, she had something to go off in
She's
it.
done her chin.
Yep,
The
full
chin
on
looks
chin.
like a pencil now.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
But don't you think, and you know what, something, when this came to flow, my first thing was, aren't the public semi to blame for this?
Public thing.
Absolutely.
Listen, like I said the last time, don't let stupidity reign supreme.
But you don't think
there's a pressure.
not even, forget the pressure, like the pressure to keep up. You don't have to put that one in, Darren, I don't have one myself. But the fact that they have to obviously forget the pressure and like staying up with standards or whatever the case is, the fact that the girl literally, when social media was coming to what it is now, got belittled, got bullied.
That's what I mean.
I can't fault her. Once she's got the money, that's the first thing. I didn't have to pay for it for you. You didn't ask for no GoFundMe. And even if you did, I didn't have to put towards that. Whatever she wants to do with her own money, her family money, for selling their story, selling their life, if she want to change her face, it ain't got nothing to do with me. Even if we were ever meant to be in the same circle of friends, I'm sitting at one of them basketball games, you know, she loves to pick up the man from there. What's it called? I'm okay. I think do you, and I think a little bit, or a lot of it comes from what people are saying, because you know the trolls, they live on the more than bridges these days.
I get that, but I still feel as though you have to almost, I get it. The trolls are a lot, and people's feedback and commentary do always affect how you perceive yourself. But there also needs to be some sort of realism in the sense that no matter what you do to your face, tweak it, spin it, cook it, boil it, steam it, roast it, barbecue it, whatever it is that you do to it, you're still going to see your damn same fucking face that you saw.
All those methods, please put some seasoning as well. Just
not even seasoning.
PSA on that one.
But the thing is, your face, you will still see what you saw before. And we've seen it with Michael Jackson, you've seen it with Little Kim, you've seen it with Kim Kardashian, you've seen it with everyone who's done plastic surgeries. Once they think they've gotten to the place they want to be, now there's a next level to take it. So you're never going to reach that
happiness
that level where you're going to say, I'm okay with this, until your body starts falling apart.
I mean, I feel like it's literally all insecurity, isn't it? It's literally all stems from insecurity. And I mean, having to grow up in the limelight, and this is for everyone, even like Michael Jackson, even literally for like anyone that's in those situations, they're literally just like, I feel like I need to change myself. And like you said, like the outside of themselves to make themselves feel good. But it's literally just so much insecurity. And, you know, I feel for celebrities that have to deal with that. But, you know, if you would do it, good for you.
Yeah, because you have to imagine, I think average out, us going to like a rave or whatever, you might get one dirty look, or if you go to, or a shady comment, but they literally have people in the DMs, under the comments. People will find a way. Like, I'm not envious of what they're going through, but I can only understand as a person that I don't want like bad comments. I like even today with like the mic situation where I was like, I forgot to tell Craig that there was a guest in it, because obviously everything had changed and I didn't. So that makes me feel bad. I can only imagine if one person was saying something or everyone. So I can only imagine everyone's commenting, and not even like putting you against your siblings, because that's it's one thing putting you against your peers or your friends. Then my siblings. Excuse you? Are you? Your mom. Your mom. Let me pop PSA, like, the older I get, I'm not afraid to tell you about your mom and where she should have kept you. Do you know what I mean?
Hello.
Don't try me, because I'm coming back harder. If you're going to be petty, I'm going hell. Okay? I'm saying that and I mean it with my chest. So,
but also, sorry, I just wanted to add, like, as much as like I do feel for her and everything, but like there's so much other stuff that's happening in the world than like.
Yeah. Oh, that's the first thing. Yeah. This is why these things are going first. I don't care that much.
Yeah.
I mean, as you can tell, I didn't know until today.
I just know a lot of people do watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians, so it is of public knowledge, and it probably got as much headlines as other things that we're going to talk about later. For instance, this one probably didn't get as much, and I just saw it later while I was putting together hot topics and stuff. J-Lo and A-Rod split up.
Who?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, I'm with you as well. Like,
You don't know who they are? Do you know who J-Lo and her latest man?
I know who J-Lo is.
Okay, cool. You know,
Wait,
from
she's
the
from the
block.
She's from
Oh,
the
God, you can say that louder. See, here. No, go on.
Hold on. What's her name again?
Oh, okay, cool. Craig just told me off again, you guys. I'm just putting this in public knowledge. Okay, he
Jennifer
tells me off
Lopez.
regularly, but he's right. Now I wasn't speaking into my mic, so hopefully you caught some of what I said. But some of it, most of it was foolishness anyway.
Reacts to
Is that better?
their
Are you sure, Craig? He's definitely better, yeah. No. Is it good?
Wait.
You sure? Oh, yeah. He said it's alright. No, do let me know if I'm messing up. So, back to
So yeah, when
Oh, she broke. J-Lo can't keep a man, innit?
That's what I was saying. Because people are like, oh
When
no,
did
I'm
it
like, when
happen?
has J-Lo kept a man?
What the hell is going on here?
When did they break up?
Probably this week.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the details, innit? I just know a lot of people are rooting for them for whatever reason.
Sure.
I just find it, this is why, when you get into these relationships, yeah, and people, because she go and take the man, because you know she sung at the inauguration.
Yes.
Go and take the man to all of these things. And now I'm like, if I look back at moments like that, and now we're not even together.
I mean, that's all right. My issue is, I mean, it's not my issue, it's her issue, but still, it's an issue. When are you going to just be at peace?
Do you know what?
No,
though?
because it was the dancer. No, it was P. No. See, look how far we're going back.
P Diddy. Oh
It
yeah.
was the music exec. Then it was P Diddy, yeah, and then look at it, Batman.
Do you say Batman? Oh yeah, because that was before P Diddy. P Diddy
It was
died
Batman.
her.
Yeah, and then you went to Batman.
But no, I must say, J-Lo does say she's a girl that loves love.
How does that make sense? Who
Oh, wait,
hates
guys,
love?
guys, you're missing like the most important
Who hates
question.
love?
What is her star sign though?
Oh, Google, what's J-Lo's star sign?
When's
This
her
could-
birthday?
This could sum it up. I
What
hope
is her
she's one of the
birthday?
ones in the room.
Hold on.
Oh, Craig's telling you off. Craig's telling you off.
All right, sorry.
Tell him off. Tell him off publicly.
She's an Aries. Do you know what she's Aries? She's a Leo, I think.
She's a
When's her
Leo.
birthday?
24th of July.
No. Yeah, that's a Leo. Who in here is a Leo? Darren,
My
what are you?
sister is and my mum is. That's the reason
Virgo,
why I know.
organized. This is why he's telling us off. You know these Geminis run. No, I'm joking. Aries.
Who?
Aquarius. Okay.
See, you guys take this star sign thing a bit too seriously.
No, we don't, but we.
Like, there's too many people take this star sign thing seriously.
No, we need to know enemies are not enemies. Craig. No, no, I'm joking. But if she's a Leo, though, I'm surprised that she ain't settled down because I thought they were quite
Something-
committed.
I don't know. Maybe she knows she can get
Anyone.
another man tomorrow, so she's just kind
I
of
just feel like celebrities do that though. They're just.
maybe it's tax purposes.
But he's rich.
Yeah, you still got to pay tax.
On what?
On
If they
what
get
you got.
married.
Well, if they were to get married, they have to pay tax. If you're in a relationship longer than so many years, isn't it? It becomes cumulative property, and then tax.
I did
Probably
not know
is
This
that.
is why I'm not in a relationship. I'm sharing. I ain't got shit
Oh,
to
child,
share.
you ain't got tax to pay.
Amen. Talking about tax, a movie that they should charge a lot of tax on.
That was good.
Thank you. I'm trying. Coming to America.
Trash.
At the end of that one, just give me an explosion.
Crap. Crippity crap. That film was a waste of my fucking time. A complete fucking waste. It pisses me off. Nah, because Coming to America, I know that film word for word. I know the lyrics word for word. I know the melody to melody. So the fact that you took a classic, no one asked you to do a sequel. You went and you did a sequel and you brought everybody and their mother into that film. Tiana Taylor didn't need to be in it.
Everyone got a cameo.
They didn't need
the
to be
dog
in it.
that shot on the leg got a cameo. If you watch it from the jump, everyone. You can't do that. That don't make no sense. Because when I'm watching it, I'm not now seeing they should have got no names, yeah? Because now that they're doing that, like Tiana Taylor.
What's she the hell doing in there? Moving like one snake.
Pure.
Trying to be sexy. I mean, the woman is sexy,
I was
but you're
gonna say she
overdoing it
is.
now.
No, so you said Sean didn't watch it. Why didn't you
No.
watch it?
Well, because I don't really
was
watch
trash.
movies, but like I just yeah. Oh,
You're,
yeah. I don't really watch movies.
you're an
so-
actress. You don't watch. You don't watch.
No, I mean I don't. I really don't keep up. Like I'm really.
Every time we
Are we
say
gonna?
that.
Are we gonna?
Every
make this a
time,
thing?
every time.
No, yeah. I'm just really bad of like.
Film.
Well, don't waste your time with this one.
Okay.
Trash.
not the one.
Who else was it?
Rick Ross, because he gave the house, so they give him cameo.
Ricky Ross, Rayze. What is he doing there?
Roti May or Roti Mai.
Rotimi.
Yeah, Rotimi.
Again.
In it.
What are you doing?
Who else did we see?
else?
Oh, Lunel, big comedian, and I think she got 2 lines.
What again? What are you doing? Uncle Freeman. Morgan Freeman.
Freeman.
Again. What are you doing?
Oh, it was the singer.
What singer?
Salt and Pepper. And is it En Vogue that was in there?
Look at it.
And who sung not I don't want to say the wrong name. And you guys shame me.
It's like,
Gladys Knight!
You know what it's like?
Wow.
Coming to America 2 was like you having a party or a wedding and you're inviting floor fillers.
Right. That's what I was literally just about
People
to say.
who you don't want there, but you're just there. So
The
when they
whole
take
of
the
Hollywood
picture, it looks like
Boulevards.
people came, but they're just here to eat the free food
Yeah.
and drink the free drink and do takeaway and go home. That was coming to America too. So many points.
Do you know when I knew this is some ghetto shit, yeah? When he died at his pre-funeral celebration.
Not
In the casket stand up, he said, I'm about to die.
And he died. And the annoying thing is,
Spoiler alert.
the first one wasn't that stupid.
No.
It wasn't stupid. So
It
how
made
did we land
sense.
here?
Even
Trash.
And they forced the storyline of him having a son. You don't care about this, innit?
No,
The basically the
continue.
storyline was that he has illegitimate son, bastard son. They kept saying, and the way he got the son is that he took one little back smoke of weed, and the woman and him have sex, and that's how they breed up the woman.
Because you know in the scene where they're in the club and they had the twins.
Sure. I haven't seen the
Do you
first
see in
one.
the girl verse? I was born on the rock in my formal
Yeah.
life, that bit.
Right.
Apparently that in that scene is where he met that woman, the Ghostbusters woman.
Oh, she's on SNL or used to be on
the
SNL
Ghostbuster.
Oh, okay.
with the mohawk normally.
Yeah. And then he met her, slept with her, she had a baby. She didn't even know who the baby daddy was until he got, a
And they
mess.
still didn't get a blood test. You're going to tell me I'm Big King, I'm not going to get a blood test to find out if that kidney is actually mine. After she admitted, I'm a hoe.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, no, definitely check it out.
Everybody watch
That was
it.
our review.
No,
You guys
don't
should all
wa-
go and
don't
watch
waste your
Coming to
time.
America
If you're going to
2.
get Amazon Prime because of that, don't waste your time.
Hey.
I think Mr. World Premier's got it up for free.
Oh, let's go to a break. It's Russeni.
And it's Oren Hanzo.
And this is the Coaster Podcast. Make sure you check us out on
YouTube.
and make sure you like, share, comment, and
Share
don't.
on your social channels.
Yeah, to all your friends, and subscribe to Rayze Media. That's where you can find us if you search the Coaster Podcast.
Come on.
Oh my God.
But you know what? Let me just say this one thing about the film. Yeah. What I did love about it was the fact that you saw black excellence and greatness in the film. But everyone didn't have a place in that film. You can be great, but you don't need to be there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was a good example that it's not everywhere you must go, and it's not all food you must eat.
Yeah.
Sometimes look at it, sniff, and move on. You don't need to be
Not
involved
everything
in
needs
it.
to have a sequel, though, isn't
Exactly.
it?
But no, you guys, they said that in the film. Once they're walking through the garden, him and the little hairdresser, that they become besties after one haircut. Because
Yeah,
you don't need to
how?
retwist locks every 3 days. That don't make no sense. They're walking through the garden and they make a joke basically like, oh, she's like, I like American films. And he was just like, but they don't need to make a sequel of everything. Sometimes just leave the classical alone. I'm paraphrasing. But I was there and I'm like, they knew this wasn't going to bang. It wasn't thought out. And no tea, no shade, but it was done on Tyler Perry's lot. And we know, if you've seen some of his work.
I don't know what you're talking about. They were great.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to say
Yeah.
it. Cool.
I mean, he does write his own stuff. I mean, that's no shade, but that's what he does.
He does write, and he writes like a whole script and stuff.
Yeah.
So on that basis, but some of them are just anyway. Moving on. Joy to the black community in a sense from a bad situation. George Floyd's family are about to receive 27 million from the pre-trial payout with everything that's going on.
Just 27 million. Where's the rest of it? Well, where is it? About 27 million.
Do you want to go and check Sean? Because he's not wrong, so we should look for it. He's not
It's
wrong.
true.
He's
It's
not
true.
wrong.
It's true. I don't know. I mean, I feel like money is not going to replace a person's life. Like, are you kidding? Like, all the damage is absolutely done. But yes, give them way more than that, because
You need to multiply that by
the amount that they've gone through, ridiculous.
Yeah.
25 million.
I actually haven't got anything to say in it. When it comes to like someone's lost their life, you're not going to bring him back.
No.
Over essentially it's translating for us roughly £20. Come on now.
Right.
Come on now.
Right.
The movement that it started,
Right.
BLM as a movement, not an organization, because they're two different things and we need to differentiate and know the difference.
All I'm hoping is they're not using this 27 million as a way to defer prosecuting the police officers that killed him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because knowing white people, they will give with their right hand and take with their left. So I'm sure they'll be like, well, you've got your 27 million, but now you've got your 27 million, let's let this side go, because you don't want the problems that come with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? If you don't, you lose the 27 million. So I hope, and this is based off my, my experience watching Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder.
Plug.
I just hope that there's no caveats with that paycheck. Because if there is, then this whole fight has pretty much been for nothing.
On that note, I don't know his name, don't need to know his name, but we do know the mugshot and we do know the face. The guy that had the knee on the neck, his thing got moved up to first-degree murder.
Yeah.
That did happen though as well. I think in the same week or time frame. So hopefully it keeps going in the right direction. Talking about going in the right direction, Meghan and Harry. Did you guys watch the Oprah interview?
Absolutely.
Live and direct.
Absolutely.
You was in the back behind Oprah.
If I had the link for the US version,
Oh my gosh.
I would have watched that and then
Yeah.
watched the IT one to see if there was anything that's been chopped or screwed.
Oh no, there was.
Oh,
I've
there's
seen stuff
loads.
that.
There was things that were
There's
taken out.
loads.
I knew it.
You know,
There's
Twitter
loads.
is public
I knew
news.
it. What got removed?
Yeah.
Just all different stuff, just the way they say it, she said stuff. The overall, sorry, Carrie. The overall message was essentially saying, but they just cut it and edited in a way where it wasn't, I guess,
I mean, they wanted the British public to hear what they wanted
to hear, yeah, and they done it where I think if you watch the American one, you feel more for Meghan. We already did, innit, from what we got to see. If you watch the American version, I think you even emphasize with her even more. So I think they just chopped it to make it.
I think they make her, well, from what I've seen, it's like they make her just look like a real person. You know, they literally make her look like a human being. Whereas I feel like the British one, you know, we've made such a big deal about it right now, and good, and absolutely rightly so. And especially within that whole week of everything that like happened anyway. I forgot what I was saying because I got distracted and everything. But like, no, but the way that they made her look in the British one is, you know, again, what they wanted the British.
Yeah, I think they just chose what would be headlines, which was part of the problem in the first
They could change
place.
the headlines to be, because as soon as it was the next day, they'll be like, I mean, I don't know if you saw this headline, it was like fears that the person that would be outed for saying the racist comment about the skin tone would be out. And it's like, so you're ready to say that, but you're not ready to be
we know
like,
who said it.
oh no.
Who do you think said it?
Oh, Charles, William, the auntie that looked like fish skin that has just been sat in the...
Camilla?
You know,
not Camilla.
Oh.
There's one, I know
auntie,
you're talking
what's her
about.
name?
I know.
Margaret?
Yeah, one of them, yeah.
One of them. All of them. All of them. Because let me tell you something. When someone has a baby, no one sits in the room and goes, rah, so what's the baby going to look like? Like, skin-wise. No one asks us what the baby's skin is going to be. Everyone just asks, is it going to have the dad's legs? Is it going to be tall like the mum? Is it going to be short like the mum? Is it going to have a baby voice like the dad? You know, these general questions or specific characteristics of each parent. No one goes in depth about skin tone.
No, but this is the royal family. Of course they would. Of
And
course.
the royal family is built on white supremacy,
Which
Colonization.
they keep doesn't make sense why they don't acknowledge that part of the story. Why do they keep acting like the great in Britain didn't come from blood of all these
Honestly.
Commonwealth countries?
No.
Yeah.
All
Did
these
you know-
people that have Independence Day
Yeah.
came because you went and you done madness and you kill off the people them and they have to rebuild and then it literally buy back their freedom.
Yeah.
There was a interview, someone in, I think it was on Fox News, but obviously they had someone from Britain talking about the interview, and then this guy was like, oh yeah, of course the royal family aren't racist because they have so many citizens under the Commonwealth, and it's like, yeah, because you colonized
Like,
them and you literally like took their land.
rebranded it as
like, so
Commonwealth.
of course, like, what do you mean? What do you mean that they can't be racist? That's exactly what racism is. They literally stole civilizations. They stole land. They stole humans. Like, how can you?
The bit that kills me is the term Commonwealth. What's common and whose wealth is being shared? Because ain't no one sharing their wealth. It's one person teeth in it. And the fact is, the empire has now been rebranded as the Commonwealth. You don't see any countries in the Commonwealth exchange it like the European Union because it ain't that.
No.
Do you see what I'm saying? And the thing that really irks me about the whole thing is, rather than listening to what she's saying, everyone's saying, Meghan did this, Meghan pulled Harry away. They've done an interview and said, this is the reasons why we came away. And now all of a sudden it's like, well, who said it? That wasn't the premise of the interview. The premise of the interview was, you want to know why we left? These are the reasons why we left.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the funny
They don't have to detail the names of it.
And
but
they didn't. They didn't say
my
any
issue
names.
also with Meghan is, when you were going out with that white boy, what were you expecting?
Do you want to go and look
What were
for
you
that as well,
expecting?
Sean? We can look for that too. We're looking for the money.
I'm
for
going.
We
What
can
were you
look. 'cause
expecting?
It's true. It's true. And that's the funny thing. Anyone that dates out of race, and it doesn't have to be a white person, what do you think is going to happen when you date outside of your race if their family's not used to your race coming
And
in?
this is why I need to find an interracial couple and I need to ask them questions. And my first question is going to be, when you lot are, before the fucking and the smoozing and the woozing and all of this nastiness that you be doing before, and then you go to each other's parents, do you have a discussion about race? Do you have a discussion about
has
each
to
other's
be
trials and
done.
tribulations? And are you aware of it as the white person? Understand it and understand that when you have children, they are going to be raised in that same system. Because I feel as though there have been many examples where they're interracial relationship, but there's almost this elephant in the room that nobody acknowledges
Yep.
about what it's like to be black and what your partner's life is to be black. And then what if your children, depending on the environment they're in, how they identify themselves and how they navigate themselves through society. Because the fact of the matter is, as much as we acknowledge Meghan is biracial, she's still very much experiencing the plight that we've all go through in the workplace, in the streets, dealing with the police, healthcare.
And the funny, for her to experience it as much as a full black person, not taking away from the experience, but shows you, because as far as light skin, dark skin, and skin tone goes, she's very fair. So the fact that they treated her as if she was dark skin or she had like Lupita, which Lupita's gorgeous, you know what I mean?
Absolutely
But they
beautiful.
treated her as if she was full black, she came from Africa.
And her unborn child. And her unborn child.
But
They
you know
were
what, I have a
expecting it.
feeling as well, because her mother was black, that added fuel to the fire.
You know, the dreadlocks didn't help too.
This is it. That's what my genuine feeling. I think maybe if she had the white mother, there would have been this narrative as though the dad left. And the mother, did what she could to look after her
But
child.
they're still feeding off of the dysfunctional family though anyway, because she's still got problems with her.
But Harry came
Father,
from a
isn't it?
dysfunctional family.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
but
but
they're gonna try and play that off, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
is
they're
it?
gonna
Okay.
use that to their advantage,
Yeah.
aren't they?
The fact, what I find also very funny is that people talk about the royal family as though they know the relationship between William
As if they're
and
at
his
that big
children
dining
and
table
the
with them.
Queen and their grandchildren. Nobody actually knows the relationship.
Nothing.
The same
Do you
way.
know who believes? Sorry, Piers Morgan, when he was talking about Meghan and everything that went on, he acts as if he gets an invite every night at 7 p.m. Roll through. We're either having duck, chicken, or pig. What do you want? What slice? Do you want to cut it or do you want Lizzie to cut it? Bears be moving as if the wine that is poured in his cup, it comes from the same vial that the Queen is drinking from. Sorry.
He has the absolute nerve, doesn't he? He has the absolute cheek, and then storms off of the set. Now, listen.
Did you see that?
Listen, if you were there. If that was a black woman, then they would be like, that's the angry black woman trope.
Straight. Aggressive
That's
black
what
man. All of them, yeah, they would have found something.
But then it was fine for him to do that. Or you're walking away from your problems. That's fine. Like, what? Like...
And the funny thing is, Alex, I'm going to butcher his name. I can't say his name. Alex, go on.
No, you're the one pronouncing it. Go on.
Beresford. Is that wrong?
Write it down.
Write it down. So anyway, Alex, look at him. Oh, he's the weatherman on Good Morning Britain. When I tell you, he didn't rip into him. He didn't shade him. He didn't do anything.
No.
When you watch it, Piers left before my man even called him diabolical, and then he wanted to use that as an excuse. You wasn't in the room when he used that word.
That's just white fragility. It's literally
it
white fragility. That's literally what it is.
When I watched it, I could tell that Alex was doing the same thing that I do in the workplace,
right?
Where you are pissing me the fuck off,
and I've been waiting.
And I'm trying to find the words to use without saying you fucking bitch. You know, like really get in there and put your finger in her and in his
you know that
or
Harry
her
meme.
face.
You know that Harry meme.
And be like, who the fuck are you talking to? Who the fuck are you talking to? If you were in the street, you won't be talking to me like you're that kind of thing.
Oh, you know them ones? Have you ever had to give them that look? If we was outside of the workplace,
you wouldn't even.
Your chest wouldn't reach that height. You wouldn't even dare. Don't ever think that me and you are on this.
Right, but he was trying to find the words because you could see it on his face.
Yeah, you can see.
He's trying to find
the words. He was
words.
processing like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And because they'd been going back and forth on Twitter, that means it was brewing in Alex's spirit for a minute. Like,
But you know what? I'm worried for him. I'm worried that he might get blacklisted.
No, I'm not, because it happened so publicly and we all watched it go down on Twitter and in person. For him to get blacklisted.
But that's
how? We know what one. We've got the proof. We've got the evidence.
But if they do say that he's blacklisted, then people are going to be like, well, that's racism.
No,
like that was literally that's discrimination.
They're not going to blacklist him publicly. All of this shit happens
behind the scenes.
So they're easily going to say to him, "Oh, great show." They're going to be a presenter. Oh, you know, I want to audition for this. Not quite the right fit.
But I don't think that will happen.
I understand why you would think that, but
I don't think it will happen.
The way it came across, like we all watched, he didn't lay into him. He didn't give off a narrative. He didn't change persona.
No.
He literally just spoke and he just said whatever.
He took down a kingpin. That's
come on,
the kingpin took himself down.
Yeah, because it's Piers Morgan. It's Piers Morgan.
Big man and big wolf blowing down all them houses like he was, that wouldn't have been the straw that broke you. What broke him is when Alex said, because obviously it's one thing hearing it on Twitter when everyone's just like, oh, she just dropped you in there, or whatever the case is. For Alex to say it in front of his other peers, that's what broke him. That was clever shade. That was the queen of the chess move.
Piers Morgan has already been under fire for so much shit, and people. Like prior to all of this, people are going like, oh, but like we agree with him because of everything that's been happening in terms of the coronavirus and like the politicians and everything.
He's just stayed in his lane.
Everybody was like, oh, yeah, but
when he was putting foot on his little white peers, that was his lane.
Yeah, no, but he's still I don't think he should have been given that credit. Still, like he's still. Can I swear? He's still an arsehole. Like he's still like a dick. Like I mean, that wasn't even like the biggest swear word, but no, like he was literally like. Horrible, and I was like, even if he's like calling out all of these politicians, I'm sorry, like you're still a racist to me, you're still a misogynist to me. So, and now the fact that he's been called out, I'm like, good, like he needs to be gone. He doesn't need it, and I don't think that Alex will get blacklisted because it was about time. It was about time for Piers Morgan. He needs to get off his pedestal
because he's going to be like Nigel Farage. As much as everyone condemns him, he still
But we had
gets a
there's loads of
platform.
people like that though, like
But
J.K.
then-
Rowling, you know,
right, but
like
then this is the problem: is that they're being enabled by a system. It's the same thing about Donald Trump. As much as everyone quote unquote says they hate him, he's being enabled. There are people
Yeah.
who are fueling him, who
Oh,
are
yeah, like-
supporting
Yeah,
him, if not
absolutely.
publicly.
Katie Hopkins.
You see what I'm saying? You hear so many people hate them, but yet they
So
get
many
the
people
views,
love
people
them.
following them, people support them. If not in your face,
Well,
it's
yeah.
pretty much like political parties in the UK. Everyone doesn't like talking about who they pledge allegiance
Yeah.
to.
But that's why it's important. That's why I think it's good that he's not there anymore, because it's not giving him a platform. It's the same with Twitter when they deleted Trump's Twitter. Like, you can't have them on a
it's
platform.
about taking away the platform because he lost 3. He lost to
Yeah.
CNN, he lost Good Morning Britain, and he lost that newspaper article.
Yeah.
That is 3 platforms. Whether or not he finds another one, and all he does is bring him and his haters and him and his foolishness, that's fine. But when you're on those public outlet medias,
It's giving them an
that's
excuse
where
to
it's
say
a
all of
problem.
that stuff. They're giving an
I
excuse
He can
to
start a
say it.
YouTube channel.
I honestly
He
think
can
that
start a
this is not the
podcast.
end of it.
Start your podcast, get
I
your
mean, Piers Morgan,
followers.
don't.
I honestly feel this is not going to be the end of him. I think what's going to happen, you're going to find a lot of people are going to rally behind him. Who are
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
lie
talking about
in-
rallying segue. You see Sharon Osbourne?
Oh,
And
yeah.
and many others, many others.
Yeah, we
but
can talk
Sharon
about that. We
had
can
a.
talk about that.
she
We can talk
has-
about that. Again,
yeah.
it's white fragility. She's using white tears, like, and like, if you're willing to stand up for someone or like try and excuse any kind of racist behavior, I'm sorry, you're literally just as bad. I don't understand why you're using your tears and crying just to prove a point. This is a time when you need to listen. For anyone who is like trying to be an ally, trying to, you know, learn and educate yourself, you need to listen. You need to listen to Black voices. You need to listen to everyone, because this is not your experience that you're going through.
We've passed that stage.
I know, but you know,
Choose
No, but
like,
it's true.
violence.
I just want to.
yeah, and she came up with a statement as well, and it was pathetic.
Choose violence. That's what we need to do. We need to choose violence and peace afterwards. Like the post I put up last week at some point. I think we've gone past the point where we're asking people to educate themselves. If you chat shit, you will get banged.
Oh yeah, chat shit, get
Oh,
banged.
no.
Get banged.
Chat shit,
Straight
get
up.
hit.
We're not
That's it.
talking, we're not explaining. You chat shit,
I
you
mean, I
get
don't throw
banged.
hands,
Chat
but obviously,
shit,
like,
get
you're
banged.
just
Boom.
done.
No,
Because
I
think
agree
at
with you.
this point,
Done.
until there are serious consequences for chatting shit,
That is true.
We're just gonna
Maybe
keep
Malcolm
going
X
around
is onto a
having the
thing,
same
yeah?
discussion.
Because we've tried Martin and he ain't worked out. We done the protest them and the thing. Martin, well done. Peace out.
Who's Martin?
Martin Luther King.
oh, sorry.
Yeah, he had a dream. If you didn't know, maybe maybe we tried dreaming and the dream didn't come true. We didn't see no white picket fence. All we ended up doing was paying them repatriations or reparations, however you want to say it.
I mean, even then,
Repatriation.
they hated the soul of that man. And then all of a sudden, they quote him for every excuse to say, what would Martin Luther King do?
No.
But
What
they don't
I'm
even
doing-
understand. They don't even understand
Malcolm
the
X,
actual
maybe we have to
quote.
take the Malcolm X approach. Maybe.
Choose violence.
Next one.
Honestly.
Talking about, we're going to get onto the last bit of the whole thing with race and stuff. I don't know if you guys saw on Loose Women, there's one of the presenters, she goes by the name Jane Moore. And she...
Could we Google who that is?
Yes, please. Thank you, Kate. You told him to put the phone away, so you on Google duty. Anyway, so she was sitting there and she was with one of the a black presenter. I was going to say Judy
Charlie
Love because...
White.
Thank you.
Write it
I
down.
wasn't getting them confused. I know Judy Love. So Jane Moore was basically like, oh, you know the difference between racism and casual racism.
Excuse me. I didn't realize that
Yeah.
casual racism was better. Like, that's just disgusting. Like, racism is just not it. Full
But
stop, period.
when she said that, that makes so much sense as to why the older generation, they ain't changing because you're tolerating it. For you to say, oh, you can tell when your dad just throws out like casual racism.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're letting them pass. You're not pulling them up and saying, we don't do that anymore. That's not what it's about. We've moved on from that.
I don't think there's any difference. You see, I see it as though when white people come up with these arguments or excuse certain behaviors, they do something else and find another excuse to excuse that. For example, the whole skin color thing, again, people are talking about, oh, maybe it meant like this. No, it's
no.
not that.
Yeah, they're trying to flex.
This idea of casual racism, there's no such thing as it being casual.
And also, why are you trying to be an
racism.
expert on something that you don't know anything about? Why are you speaking on something that you literally don't know anything about? Like, if you're not experiencing it firsthand, don't tell me what is or is not casual racism.
Because you don't sit in my seat.
Precisely.
This is what I'm saying.
This isn't the bus
violence.
you paid for.
Because until you have some sort of awareness of what you're saying, knowing there's going to be consequences for what you're saying, then we're going to keep batting around these terms of, reverse racism, casual racism. No, racism is racism, and you don't get to dictate what's racist and what we should or shouldn't be offended by.
I don't think we should choose violence. What I think that needs to happen is that the people in power just need to not be in power. And obviously, I don't know how that's going to happen because...
Violence.
You actually walked into that one.
Violence. Because, see, the thing is that the system is so rigged. If you look at the educational system, the fact that black students actually perform when better than white kids, but they have less opportunities. Yeah. The fact that universities, when I was going and people before me were paying £1,000, £3,000, and now it's £9,000. Who is it really disbenefiting? Is black and ethnic minorities, because we don't have that money to go and pay £9,000 for uni. You go do internships for how long? A year before you actually make an income. These things are put in place to prevent us from moving forward as a race and as a community. So even if we vote people out, Labour aren't really going to do much either, because they're looking out for the white working class. And this is the problem I find is, until we choose violence, and I'm not saying go around shooting everyone, but what I'm saying is when someone chats shit, you bring them up on it and bring them up in the most violent and intolerant way. But until we start doing that, we're going to keep going around in the same circles. Pierce Starmer, the guy ain't had jerk chicken before. The guy don't know what jollof rice is. The boy could probably, the only curry he eats is a korma, which isn't an Indian curry. So what the hell will he know about ethnic minorities? Let's ask this question. Hackney's mayor, Diane Abbott, why has she never been pushed forward as to be the Labour MP leader? Her resume speaks for itself. Why hasn't she?
I just feel like it's literally just everybody that's in power. But it's not even just about race. It is about race, but like you were saying, it's about the working class as well. And before it was about race here in the UK, it was the working class that were the underprivileged. That was the number one thing. So, and obviously then when slavery happened, they were like, well, yeah, black people, and then they were like, we're going to move them to the working class. So then it's literally this intersection thing. And so it's literally every person that is being benefited, that is up there, is the white, straight, male. And
but don't let that fool you. I believe them white women up there,
they're dangerous.
They violently dangerous.
I
think white man just sit at the power. They even know that they've got the power. But white class,
white women are dangerous.
Straight white men scare me the most, but that's just because I'm
a so that actually makes sense. We would we would find a fire. But so Jesus, Christopher.
I've had clashes with white women, and the games and the
audacity
and everything else that they throw in there in order to prove a point.
The double A chest that they put forward. Jesus.
Oh yeah, literally again the right fragility.
Anyway, what are these white people conversations? Let's take a break. It's heavy. Let's take a break. So you have been listening to the Coaster podcast.
And it's happening every Wednesday, every 2 weeks at what time? 8? No? I mean, whatever time we feel like it, innit? Yes, boy, innit? It comes on, it comes on.
So yeah, we're on to the third segment. Sharing is caring. That's not the segment name. I said that with my chest. That's not it.
What is it?
That's not it. I don't actually know. I don't know why I said sharing is
It's
caring.
a rose
But
or a
sharing
thorn.
is caring,
No, it's not
though.
rose.
Is it not? Oh, shit.
That's at the end. That one I do know. No, sharing and caring is a performing. Oh, what's on a coaster's mind? The thoughts of a.
That's
Sorry,
new.
No, it's not. Thoughts of a coaster. Yeah, it is. It's not new.
God.
It is new.
It isn't.
Is it?
Okay,
Is
well,
that Z?
okay, a new. It isn't. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that one. Yeah, I knew. I just jumped
I'm
a
new
segment. I was
here,
just like, wait,
so-
what? So, thoughts of a coaster. So, this is what's been playing on my mind. A topic.
Oh.
Sorry, you guys, that was my fault. I don't know why, I just jumped. It's because we talked about it earlier, and I was like, so it was on my mind. So, thoughts of a co-star. So, with everything going on with Meghan and Harry, like we touched in the hot topics, in Wagwan for us, Wagwan for them. We sit here with you, Sian, and you are mixed race.
What?
Is it? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Definitely? Okay. So, tell us the breakdown of your mix, if you don't mind.
So, British, Irish, and Grenadian.
Ooh,
Yes.
not the typical Jamaican. You know, my people them go and breed up. We everywhere. So yeah, that's your mix, and I just want to talk. And I don't know about you, Mr. Hanzo, but I never really, especially my mixed race friends, like ask about their experience like that. Sometimes, especially if they're like my friend, they live in that black experience in it. They get classified as just black. So my question to you, like, my first question to you, Sian, is like, do you pick a side?
Absolutely not. I think even that, like, I hate that question because, you know, what I don't understand. Like, I'm my own person, I'm my own being, and so, you know, to even suggest that I should pick a side, like, no, I'm a person. I'm a human being. I'm stick to myself. And you know, as a child, well, I'm 25. Like, freaking, I'm talking about something. Anyway, when I was younger, you know, there was this constant battle as well, because you know, you go through like an identity crisis. Like, you really do.
Do you know why I'm laughing? Sorry to cut you off, because you do the same thing that I do, where I don't know if everyone's ever clocked. I'm like, yeah, oh God, and then I say something to myself, and I realize she does it all the time. So go on.
It's true. Yeah, you go through an identity crisis, and I feel like every single mixed race person, I mean, I feel like with anyone, but you know, with mixed race people, their experience is absolutely individual, and I can only speak from my experience, you know, when I was growing up, and I grew up in Southeast London, so bullet, and it's predominantly, it's like very mixed. So not just in like mixed race, but it's in like very multicultural. I think it's 47%. You know, BAM in, I was about to tell myself, but in Southeast London, like where I specifically live, which is quite high when you think about it, because the rest would be about like 53%. So I would grow up and have like loads of different people, and I would see faces that looked like mine. But then, you know, still in school, I would have this, I would have people say to me, oh, you act more white than you do black, you know? And or like, oh, you speak, the way that you speak.
How long did this continue from? Was this from like primary school to
I
uni,
feel like,
or drama
I feel like
school?
it was in secondary school mainly. So they were like, oh, you act so white. You're more white than you are black, and you speak so posh. Like, and you know, and at that age, you know, I would be like, oh, you're right. I would be like, you're right. Like, and then when I look back on myself now, I'm literally just like, what? You know? What would you, and then again, like, there's such a contrast, because then I went to uni, and I went to uni in Somerset, and that is predominantly white. That's very white. And specifically where I was, it is like 96.5% white. Yeah.
Excuse you?
Yes. And so going to there and then being a minority, and again, I'm mixed race, and in my class I was the only mixed race black woman in my class, and again, like, you act too black.
Really?
I was like too black for the white people and too white for the black people. And again, it made me think like, where do I sit? Where am I? Like, how do I navigate through my life?
Because it took me coming up to like 21 maybe, where I thought, obviously I'm around more mixed race, but coming from Jamaica, then going to school, like, I don't even think I had any mixed race friends at school. It was all black. There was a few mixed race people. They weren't in my like core friendship group. When I got to 21 and I was out working and performing more, and I just meeting more mixed race people, I was just like, why do they always have to pick a side? I don't understand why they can't just sit in that and be comfortable just to be mixed. I don't understand why that's not an experience in itself.
I think even the question, I just hate that question so much. What do you pick a side? And do you know what? It's funny. I had a conversation with my mom, and she was talking to me about how a kid actually asked that to me when I was in primary school, and I must have said to my mom, I was like, "Oh, someone asked me this," and my mom was just like, "You know what you say to them? You're like, you're a human being."
Aww.
And I was like, "Yeah, you know," and you know, as a mixed race woman, you know, you still have those talks about race. And I'd always known that I was mixed race, whereas I know some people, like I know so many mixed race people where they have such a different experience in terms of like finding their identity or what their identity is, because I feel like it's still an ever like changing and growing thing where you're still trying to find where you sit in the world. I've always known that I was mixed race, and this is.
Do you think it's a privilege that you knew you were mixed race?
Probably yes. Yeah. And you know, okay, I'm gonna like stem off because it's funny that you mentioned the word privilege, because during this whole lockdown thing with the height of like George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement, I realized a lot of my privileges as well. Not to say that I didn't before, but I was able to reflect on some of my actions, and I was just like, wow, like there are some things that I look back on. So the first thing that I wanted to say first, in terms of like the actual word like mixed race, right? I've always sat comfortable in identifying as that, again, like you said, because that's how I was brought up. My mom was just like, you're mixed race and you're a mix of black and white. And then I remember going to uni and I was just like, oh, I'm mixed race. And then a lecturer of mine said, you can't use that. And I said, what? And she was like, you can't say mixed race because it's offensive. And I was like, offensive to who? And I was like, that's how I identify. And in my head, I was like, how can you tell me how to identify when you are not even like a person?
Again,
like
we said earlier, you don't sit in my seat. Who are you to tell me how to identify as a person if you're not in my community? You've never lived in this side of the gate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing is that I think they kind of associated it with like half caste or like mulatto or something like that. That's probably how they're seeing in their head. But I was like, no, in nowhere was that offensive. That's exactly how I've always identified.
I find it really interesting to hear you say that, because I do understand where you're coming from, where it's either are you more on this side than you are on that side. My stepdad is mixed race, and we would say he's more black than he is on his white side. But then being biracial, you should be able to accept I'm part this and I'm part that. I love this about my white side. I love this about my black side. I think part of the problem is everything's been, the mixed race voice has been lost. Because you're either a white or you're black. I mean, even in some instances, we consider South Asians as blacks when they're not. They're their own group of people on their own, with their own experiences, with their own history.
Exactly.
And we have to recognize them as such. The same with Oriental people as well. And because it's
Oriental,
been made so...
don't use that word. That's not the right word.
What's the right word?
Yeah. Just Asian.
Asians.
But
because Oriental is a food. This is something that...
Oriental is not the word.
It's like, they use that's to describe food, not people. But it's good that Sian said it. One, pull up your friends them. That's the first thing. Or like, just like a local...
So you
don't know.
So Oriental is a food thing. It's not a people thing.
You don't know.
So what do you say people are from?
You would just be like South Asian, East Asian.
You would put their terms
Yeah,
like, you know,
Right,
like
okay.
which is funny because when we talk about Africans, we would say from East Africa and I was going to
West,
say
yeah,
North Africa.
yeah. Right. Okay.
Stuff like
So
that,
East, we're talking Japan,
Sure,
China,
yeah.
Yeah.
Korea, and that side, and South Asians, we're talking about Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi.
Can we just take note, Miss Hanzo just accepted that and learned from that.
Yeah.
A lot of people could learn from what just happened there, and it just
Oh.
putting it out there. Not
I
everyone
didn't-
takes things
I
like
didn't
that. They'll be
know.
like, why can't I say that?
No, I
Or push up their
generally
nose,
didn't
man.
know. I thought that was just a general
Yeah.
term that was used. But like I was saying, is that the mixed race voice or those from other backgrounds and other mixes is being lost because you're either here or you're there.
Exactly. There's always this binary. There's always this like two sides. And also, I think another thing is that we forget that there are mixed race people who are not just white and black. Like you can have like black and Asian. You can have like so many different mixes. So when you say like mixed race, it means so many different things. But I think people usually just talk about the white and black experience. And you know, for me, how I move around the world as well, I know for a fact that even though I'm mixed race, I will never be seen as white. Never. I'm never going to be white. So I always, the way that I identify as well is that I also identify as like a mixed race black woman because I will never have the experience of a black woman, but I will never have the experience of being a white woman. But I do move through the world where I have received racism, I have received discrimination, and I have received prejudice.
Could you give us some examples? Obviously, you don't have to, and even you, Miss Hanzo, where you have. Let's go with like your family. Have you ever had it, especially for you and with Archie, for example, where you heard it in your family where someone just says some wayward things and you're just like, oh, rotted. Can you
I was
remember?
called coloured in college.
You coloured
Coloured in college.
Really?
Yeah.
by who?
Teacher, photography teacher.
Oh my gosh.
And it was weird because you didn't know, well, how do I question it? Because you know they're always going to plead innocence and plead ignorance. So
No. Tell us. No, I need the story. Just give us a little. What?
So it was simply like doing photography, and she was helping me out. We're talking through stuff, and she goes, "Yeah, coloured people."
Oh, shame.
Wait, like what year was this? Like 2000?
So we're talking 2006.
Okay, that's just...
So I'm like, oh, okay. How do you pull this up? How do you have this type of discussion? Because even when you are, saying like, yes, you guys corrected me, but you don't say that, there always comes a sense of hostility when you do address stuff like that and how you navigate through it. But generally as a family, we've never had, no one really talks reckless. And I think being a minority, you're always very conscious of the spaces that you're in and how you're perceived in those spaces. So you always try to be either not seen or be discreet in those spaces where you do feel as though I am the minority here. I find sometimes when you are like that, people forget that you're in the room and talk reckless. What's interesting is though, as the recklessness is happening, nobody's pulling up anyone on it. Everyone is just sitting there almost in agreement.
Yeah.
And that for me is more dangerous than the person who's saying it. Because the person who's saying it is being bold and they're comfortable in it. But the fact that that person feels comfortable enough to do it in that environment means that should you do it in somewhere else, no one's going to check you for it. And if you're in a position where someone is saying it, you're not going to check them either. So no education's going on other than me having to speak up for myself.
Or they expect you to educate them, and that is not right.
But then that's also very dangerous because then you not only bear the difficult task of explaining it, but you bear the brunt of
the trauma. You're reliving the trauma.
Their ego being, hurt
or bruised.
bruised. the fact that they've been corrected by someone who they don't see as equal.
Do
You get what I'm saying? And this is what I was saying about Alex and his situation is that they're all saying, yeah, but they'll quickly say he needs to go back in his box.
Yes.
Because his opportunity wasn't off his own back. And that's something I think a lot of people forget is the hard work and the positions that a lot of black people take is not because of their hard work. It's because a white person has allowed them to fulfill that position.
Facts.
It's not just of hard work alone. So you can strive and you can work hard. And there's been positions where I've been in where they've said, you're good at that and we want to keep you there. But this idiot over here, we need to give him something else to do.
Right.
And then they get promotion. Or they work on things that you want to work on.
Because it's actually hard, like, for a black person or person of color to... What's good is some communities do circulate money and circulate jobs, and that's really good. Something that black people are yet to come together and build on because of reasons, with everything that went on. But it's so hard that we can't sit somewhere comfortably and do that, and all of our opportunities do come, like you say, from a white voice. So that time, and the only way to progress sometimes is to put on that white voice, is to dull down your thing. It's code. Thank you for that's the right terminology. It's code switching, or I don't know if you agree. Do you believe in like light skin privilege? Like,
I mean, well, yeah, like that. There is a thing as light skin privilege. You know, like I moved around the world completely different to a black woman. You know, and sorry to veer away from the topic, but going back to the privilege thing that happened during the George Floyd thing. So I felt absolutely uncomfortable when I was in uni because, again, I was the only mixed race black woman in my course, and I was just like, I don't like it. And then I think also because I was coming from a place where, like I said, there's 47% BAME. Not word.
but yeah, that word. We're trying to get rid of that word. BAME is not.
Yeah. And then going into this predominantly white area, so that was just like a shock for me. And I was like, this is too much. Like I'm like, I feel like, and also the way that I'm driven and I drive and the way I move and like motivate myself, I'm like, I know for a fact that I can do this without this, because I really feel like the education system is just so flawed in so many ways. So I didn't do my third year, and I just went on and did my own thing, right? And then when I was sitting with myself and I was watching this Instagram live, and she's mixed race as well, and she did this like talking about like privilege as a light skinned like mixed race person, and she made this like absolutely amazing point. And then I reflected and I was like, what a privilege that was, where I was able to remove myself because I felt uncomfortable being in a white environment. That's a privilege, because say if this was the workplace and the black woman was like, I don't like working in this workplace, they can't like run away from their skin color. They can't run away from that. That's their reality.
Can't run away from them bills.
They can't do that. So I was like, that was a privilege for me. I could go back to this place where I was not a minority. I mean, I'm a minority in the whole world, where I felt comfortable because I'm seeing faces just like mine. But like the reality is that like a black woman literally has to go through that in their daily life. So that's a privilege that I have. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
So, just to wheel back on, when or any poignant moments in your life where you're like, you felt attacked or discriminated against by your family members, or they just said something and you sat there, whether you were with your black side of the family or white side, and you were like, I call it kitchen table talk, when the family's just ripping into whatever. It doesn't have to be about race, it could be about someone or whatever the TV program, they're just going in and you're just like, I am glad there's not a camera in my house in this moment, because they're going down. Because was it over Christmas? Maybe, or wheel back a couple. Trump. We were talking about Trump. Me and my cousins in it. So there's me and then one cousin above, and then the rest are a little bit younger. But it stops at 15. And one of my cousin parallel to me. When he was supporting this man, as if he was getting a check. He was supporting him so hard. And me and like another cousin was like, you can't, we're not doing this. This is not, but we were going in. I was just like, as my family member, I'm glad that no one, apart from now, will ever know that you were riding and dying for this man and his foolishness.
Oh
so has there been every moment where you just felt tense, where they've said something and you're like, oh, sugar?
Luckily no, because my white side of the family are in Ireland, so I don't really get to see them that often. But like my mom's side of the family are here, so I would see them regularly. So and they're all good. I mean, unfortunately, my nan actually passed away. So
condolences.
Thank you. Shout out Vira Gentle, love you. Yeah, like, so luckily, no, I have not. How about you?
No, not within my family.
No.
Being out in the world,
Yes, absolutely.
then yes, but not in my family.
Where someone's like been overted, that word?
Overtly.
Thank you. Racist to you outside of the whole coloured thing?
Oh, yeah.
Re-
Yeah, in the workplace. I mean, even just the other day, I had a colleague say to me, oh, they're using another black guy in this ad again. And I was like, yes, equal opportunities and all of that.
Well, how did you respond to that?
Well, there's a way I would like to respond to it. But then it's more hassle for you, because then not only do you get into the argument of it, then it's always he said, she said, and then it's how they felt versus how you feel. Being the aggrieved person, or you should have been the aggrieved person, but all of a sudden you're no longer the aggrieved person. So it's a difficult one, and this is why I'm saying it's time to choose violence. Because if you don't say it, if you don't address it, then he doesn't or she doesn't know better.
This is true.
And if you don't, and I say this because I had a conversation with a friend's friend who's a psychologist about how do blacks and everyone else who isn't white, how do you navigate the world being discriminated against and not have mental health issues, or at least be well enough to function
And mental health is already a stigma within the black community within itself.
Can I use that?
And that is the bit that worries me. And I think a lot of it is we deal with it, we don't talk about it, we don't deal with the situation, we park it, and we go back in and we do another day of it. And I always say that, there's times where the day's an easy day, and about, let's go to the pub. No, I don't want to go to the pub. I'm tired of being in your lot's presence. I'm tired of faking it to make you guys feel comfortable. Let me go to my house, blast my R&B, my hip-hop, my whatever it is, eat my food, my spicy food in peace. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't want to deal with it. You don't have to go into the pub and fake conversations. Do you eat gnocchi? No, I don't eat gnocchi. What the fuck is a gnocchi?
I love gnocchi. Oh my God, I love gnocchi. I love gnocchi.
Sound as though you're interested in things or know things that you just don't know. And this assumption that their experience is your experience. So I think that, for me, has always been a big issue, is separating what I'm like at work versus what I'm like outside. And how do you find that middle point where you don't, feel like your screw is getting loose?
And on that note, let's take a break and close off the podcast. So, Mr. Hanzo, do you know what Anchor is?
Nope.
So, Anchor is a podcast streaming site that you can make your podcast, then you put it out there. And not only do they put it on their platform, they also put it out on all the other platforms from Spotify, iTunes. And then, what's really nice about the Anchor is you can start making money once you start getting the viewership. And money just exciting for us.
Ding, ding, ding.
So make sure you check out Anchor. Oh, and that was the last clap. They don't get to hear the clap in it, but it would have been the last clap of this podcast. So yeah, and we're gonna close off with a thorn and a rose. An added thing to our special guest today, Sian. I want you to give advice as well. So we're just doing, Mr. Hanzo, we're doing lesser as men do. What's it called? We're just doing a thorn and a rose. I want you to give advice to any little mixed race girls out there. You can do boys as well, but obviously your experience that you could share some advice to them. So we're gonna let you go last, so you can marinate on that one.
Okay, I'm thinking.
Do you wanna go first or second, Mr. Hanzo?
Oh, I'll go first. Wow. My thorn this week was the whole Meghan Markle thing. I think now we're getting to a point where we need to start fighting back and stop allowing the media and people who don't live our experience dictate what we should be upset about and what we shouldn't. I think our time of being peaceful is done. Now we need to
say it. Go on, say it. Say what
choose violence. That's what we need to do. I think, and that's goes into my rose is live in your authentic truth and choose peace within yourself. Not peace for the situation, but what will give you peace. And if it's cussing a motherfucker out, cuss them out.
Cuss out them blood clots.
Right. Because this is the thing. Peace, because they're doing what they're doing to give themselves peace. Everyone's doing what they're doing to give themselves peace. So you do what you need to do to give yourself peace. That's my reason for it.
While Sean's still thinking,
violence.
I'm going to piggyback right off you because I think we have the same thorn and rose. My thorn isn't so much the Meghan Markle thing, but it's definitely... It's time. Violence for me wouldn't be throwing hands, but don't try me because win or lose, I'm up for the fight. But my thought is violence is in, you're not going to get me out in these streets with your words or nothing. Don't say nothing wayward to me. Like I said earlier in the podcast, I will tell you where your mom should have left you or where your shag should have never dropped you off.
Hold on.
I'm not
When
running
you say
these games
left,
going up to... Go on.
Are you talking before birth or after birth?
Either one, she could have swallowed. Do you know what I mean?
Jesus is Lord.
Listen, you should have never asked me that question because he knew I was going to say some wayward stuff. So that's it. I'm just not. Going up to 30, I'm not taking that. I'm not doing it.
Why are you waiting till 30?
Huh? No, going up to 30. I'm not waiting. Oh, please. Well, past getting up to 30. I'm just saying now onwards. And after a whole year of a panini, parallelograph, and whatever the foolishness is, we're not taking this.
Pandemonium.
We're not taking it,
No.
Excuse me, the pizza's been warm and hot. So that's my thorn. People try and don't do it. You don't have to play people in the streets like that. My rose. Keep pushing and striving, Don't be afraid of the questions. Like I said at the top, for me, it was a week of questioning different stuff and what am I doing in life, as I do all the time. But obviously now it's just playing on the mind in there. It's okay to question. It's okay to find those answers. That's my rose. Just sit with them. My rose is it's okay to sit with them. There ain't nothing wrong taking the time to think, evaluate, and putting the right chess pieces in the right places. And on to our special guest.
Snaps.
Do you want to do?
I'll do my thorn first. This whole week has been my thorn. I think like this whole week has just been like a wave of emotions. Like I think, wasn't it International Women's Day on the Monday? And then all of a sudden we had the Meghan and Harry thing, and then we had the Sarah Everard thing. Like I feel like for women of colour, it's been a very triggering week. It just sits hard on our hearts, and it sits hard and for women of color, for Black women in general. So it's been a hard week to look at these things this whole week. My rose, though, I would say is just hope and gratitude and just staying true to who I am and how I've grown throughout this whole pandemic. Yeah, I just feel like
I'm surprised you called it the right name.
Sorry, I actually said the wrong one. Sorry, put that in edit, guys. Put that,
Yeah.
dub it over.
He won't. He's shady. Don't ask no one behind camera to do anything nice. Sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, I'm just, I'm in abundance of gratitude right now. I just want to thank you guys for like allowing me here, because I feel like it was just such a blessing, like I said, after this week. And I feel like I'm seeing it as an outlet. I'm seeing it as a way to just like express myself and you guys and have a safe space to do that. Advice for any mixed race women, mixed race, even like mixed race queer women as well. Just be true to yourself. Stay within, like, the way that you move around the world may be like so confusing right now, and it may be hard to navigate, but I just be proud of who you are and be proud of like everything that you stand for, and ultimately you're just love, you're just love.
And on that note, thank you guys for tuning in to the Coaster Podcast. I've been your host, Rashidi.
Here we go.
My co-host has been Oren Hanzo.
Okay, 2-5.
Pardon?
5-2.
Thank you. I'm glad you keep
No, wait. 5-2 to me.
5-2. How's 5-2 to you?
Because you only got my name right twice.
Why are you shaming me in public like this? And give it up to our special guest of the episode. I'm sure she'll be back. I will do a birthday special next year if we're still around by then.
Okay.
Make some noise for